We are out here just having fun, fishing on Lake Gunnersville, and we are going to go over the 2025 Major League Fishing Bass Pro Tour schedule that was announced recently. So let's see if I can't catch fish while I'm talking to you guys about it. We're gonna go over it and give you a rating 1 to 10 on how well of a tournament I think it's gonna be based off like fish catches or whatever, right? Like performance of fishing. So number 1, let's get right into it. Lake Conroe, the end of January, beginning of February. You see me kind of saying that with like a sad, I don't know, tone of voice, whatever. It's gonna be tough. I'm always excited to get to every tournament. So I could say that about everyone, right? I'm excited to get there. I'm excited to get there. That one, I'm excited to get there. It's gonna be the first event of the year. I'm gonna be fired up and somebody has to win. That's always my thought process is don't care how tough it is. I've been to the toughest places, had some of my best tournaments. So don't care about that, but it is gonna be tough. Like that is gonna be a shakeup in the points right off the giddy. Like right off the bat, first tournament of the year, total shakeup in the points, in my opinion. But Lake Conroe, end of January, beginning of February, it's gonna be giants caught, just not gonna be a ton of fish caught, especially if we go there. I guess we'll probably have 1.5 pounds minimum at that place, but it's just not one of those well-known Texas fisheries, even though it does have some giant bass. I'm gonna give Conroe, guys, 6 out of 10. I hope it proves me wrong. Hope it's a 10 out of 10. Number 2, we are going to the Harris Chain of Lakes. You ever heard of a professional tournament there before? Me either. That place, I'm just kidding, guys. That place needs a break. Like, that's my honest opinion about the Harris Chain. I would say performance-wise, fishing-wise, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. Obviously, fishing in Florida is fun, especially in the winter, especially if you have good weather. But it has just been beat so hard. I wish we were going somewhere else. That's just the honest truth. Just gonna be honest, don't care. I wish we were fishing somewhere else in Florida. But Harris Chain needs a break, 5 out of 10. Sorry guys that live down there. Actually, the guys that live down there probably don't want us there anyway. They probably wanted to get a break. So they're probably happy I'm saying that. All right, number 3. So we got a 6 out of 10, we got a 5 out of 10. Number 3, to me, this is a good one. I'm like, this is a good one. When you see this one on the schedule at this time of year, this is cool. Lake Murray, beginning of March, first week of March, giant fish, pre-spawn. I can't think of another professional tournament that's been there at least in a really long time. FLW back in the day, I remember Anthony Gagliardi catching like mega bags, 29 pounds on a jig. Can't remember the dude's name that I think won the event, but they were catching like mid 20, upper 20 pound bags on a jig, pre-spawn. And we were gonna be there pre-spawn. It might be getting into, like if we were there a little bit earlier, it might even be better. But beginning of February or beginning of March on Murray is gonna be giant fish. It's gonna be plenty of fish being caught, all different kinds of ways that they're gonna be catching them. That's gonna be a great event. I'm gonna give Murray 9.5 out of 10. Like, that's gonna be a really, really good one. So the 4th event of the year is right here, Lake Gunnersville. This is for the Red Crest Championship. It is the first week of April. Kind of unique there. There really has not been a championship event on Gunnersville in the first week of April, let alone really like a 4-day event, professional event that I can think about in any recent history. One that comes to mind is a long time ago when guys were locking up here from Wheeler Lake. Alvin Shaw, Michael Bennett, they hit that one right in the middle of spawn. So we're gonna be hitting it right in the middle of spawn, right at the start of it. I've seen them here spawning as early as mid-February, but typically the first week of April, full-blown spawn. That's gonna be a fun event. I have to give that, because I live here, because I love Alabama, I just love this area. I gotta give it a 10 out of 10. I think it's gonna be great fish catching, and the place is just beautiful. It's an awesome place to have a tournament. So 10 out of 10 for Gunnersville. The 5th place that we are going to is gonna be just up the river, Nickajack and Chickamauga. Not in that order, Chickamauga and Nickajack. First couple days will be on Chickamauga. And the cool thing about our events, guys, next year, by the way, 4-day events. No more 6 days, Group A, Group B, thank God, that's gone. So First 2 days, I believe, are on Chickamauga, second 2 on Nickajack. That is gonna be cool. I love when MLF does it, mixes in a couple different lakes. Last year we did Douglas and Cherokee. A lot of fun when we're able to do that. So I'm definitely looking forward to that event just for the mix-up. I think that's gonna be cool. Chickamauga's been pounded too, but Nickajack hasn't. And the cool thing about our event is we only have 65 boats, so we can go to some smaller places like Nickajack. It's not that big of a lake. I'm gonna give that a 7 out of 10. Chickamauga's pulling it down a little bit, not because I don't like Chickamauga, just because there's been a lot of tournaments there, but Nickajack's lifting it up a little bit. The next place is very exciting, like super exciting. I remember watching Skeet Reese win here, Kevin Van Dam, and that is Smith Mountain Lake. So a lot of people get these mixed up. Smith Lake is right over there. Smith Mountain Lake is 10 hours the other way. And this Smith Mountain that I'm talking about, not Smith Lake, Smith Mountain, is up in Virginia. And word on the street the past several years is the fishing has gotten really good there. They have stocked F1 bass, apparently. Somebody comment below if I'm wrong. But they have stocked F1s and they've gotten big. And if they're taking us there for heavy hitters, chances are they've gotten big. So I am definitely excited about that event. I'm gonna give that event a 10 out of 10. I think it's been over 10 years since there's been a professional tournament there. And it's been one of those places that I remember watching on TV like, oh gosh, I really would love to go to Smith Mountain Lake. Docks everywhere, clear water, big fish. I don't know how the smallmouth are doing in there anymore, but as long as there's big largemouth in the middle of May, it's gonna be good. Let me think about the next one, Kentucky Lake, first week of June. I don't know, I guess this is gonna be Kentucky Lake's chance to show if she's truly made a comeback or not. But we've seen the comeback on smallmouth weights and smallmouth tournaments. I fished a tackle warehouse there in April this year. To be honest, it was unbelievable. Really, really fun. Caught so many smallmouth. So I believe like February, March, and April there for smallmouth, awesome place. First week of June in 2025, we're gonna see how much of a comeback the largemouth have made. I know that they are making a comeback. I'm just curious how much. And I'm curious to see where the smallmouth go. I have no idea where they're gonna go. But it's gonna be a fun event to get back on Kentucky. It's been a long time. I'm gonna give Kentucky 7 out of 10. So if it proves me wrong and the fishing is amazing, I'll come back and edit the video and we'll bump it up a little bit. But 7 out of 10 for Kentucky. After that, tidal water, baby. Potomac River. Love it. Gotta love seeing tidal on the schedule. Every time I just drive up there to the northeast and I'm going to a tidal place and I put my boat in the water and smell the air, I get fired up. I just love that brackish mix of fresh water with the salt water, just that aroma in the air, the tide, you know, the water falling 2 feet 4 times a day, like fish repositioning, all that stuff just gets me fired up. So Potomac River, end of June, I'm going to give it, it's not like it's a new place to go the end of June, but I'm just really excited to see tidal on our schedule. So I'm gonna give it a 8 out of 10, and I hope it shows out. It can be really good at times, and it can be tough. I've been up there like struggling to catch 5, but I've had some great events up there, and typically in June, Potomac River is a good place to be. So the final event, last event of the year, it's about a 12-hour drive from here. I made it several years ago before it started popping up for tournaments. I took a friend of mine fishing up there. He wanted to catch a smallmouth. He was from here and he had never caught a smallmouth. So we drove 12 hours, had some of the most amazing smallmouth fishing that I've ever experienced, like up there with Ontario, and that is Sagona Bay. The place is unbelievable. It is also unbelievably rough, like top 5 roughest places I've ever been, for sure. I don't know what it is about that bay. The shallowness of it, I don't know, the way the current flows out of it, whatever it is, super rough place. And that's all dependent, you know, what you're gonna fish for is all dependent on that weather. So the good thing about it, great largemouth fishing. It's huge, it's vast. Like there's so many places you can go largemouth fishing. And then if you go smallmouth fishing and the weather, you know, allows it, there's some phenomenal smallmouth fishing there. So you're not gonna catch many smallmouth, you catch big ones. The largemouth, on the other hand, you can catch quite a few. Oh, I got bumped, missed them. But the largemouth, so many places to catch a bunch. Like, it's got to be, for me, northern fisheries, thinking of largemouth, it's got to be up there as one of the better places to go if you want a largemouth fish. And I like that mix. I think it, it makes it nice that some guys are going to be smallmouth fishing and commit to that. Other guys will go largemouth fishing and commit to that. So I think that'll be good. But anyways, overall, I'm gonna say overall on the scheduling, I guess we could add the numbers up and divide it and get a true answer, but I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10 for the season. I think that if we had a few more new blood places, right? Like Smith Mountain, it's not new blood, but it's been a long time. If we had more places like that, I'd be a little more like, I'd give it a higher number, but I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10 next year. I think it's gonna be a great season. I think MLF made some good changes, and I'm not excited about any one event in particular, maybe a little biased towards Gunnersville, but I'm just ready to get out there, get to Conroe, have a good event there, and hopefully have another great season in 2025. So appreciate you guys watching. If you disagree with any of my stuff about any of these lakes, leave a comment below. Can't hurt my feelings. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. So we will see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys.